Hi everyone, Kieran Brown here, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about self-sabotage. Now, on the screen is two consecutive push workouts. So the one on the left was on a Monday, and then the one on the right was the following Friday, so like 4 days difference. And what you can see there is that my strength actually went down, like quite considerably, in these few days. Now, my goal at the moment is obviously to build strength, get stronger, build some muscle. So, this is really disappointing. I came into the gym session with pretty low energy. Like I knew I wasn't feeling strong. I was feeling quite weak, and this was on like week 2 of the carnivore diet. And I'd known before that there might be a dip in performance in the first few weeks, and then eventually, once you're fat adapted, then it will sort of rebound and bounce back up. And it was just quite demoralizing, really. And even in the past couple of weeks, I've still, well, I've actually just about um, gotten like above this level here from the 28th of October. Like my lifts are now above that level, but I did have to go through a bit of a dip and sort of build my way back up, which is quite frustrating. But this is a new lifestyle for me, so I'm still experimenting and learning. Um, and yeah, I think I just underate, to be honest. And this coupled with not much progress on the scale weight. I weigh myself every day, and you can see like 2 weeks worth of weigh-ins here. Like my weight has barely changed, and that this is even after um, these two sessions here. So these two sessions were in week 2, and this is the weigh-ins week 3 and 4. So even after that, like I wasn't seeing much progress on the scale. And these are two key metrics: performance in the gym and the daily weigh-ins. And if neither of them are moving, then something needs to change. And honestly, I almost completely threw out like the entire plan. I was like, this is carnivore diet. Like, I don't have the energy that I do going into the gym when I've had carbs. And I was almost like, some people do a more animal-based diet and include fruits and honey for energy, particularly like a pre-workout snack almost, and that just gives you that little sugar boost for the workout and leads to an increased performance in the gym. And I wanted to do this 30-day carnivore challenge, regardless. But then I was thinking, like, after that, I might add some fruits back in just because it's affecting gym performance. Like maybe it is more difficult to gain muscle with this particular diet. And honestly, just based on like this couple weeks of data, I almost like completely changed everything, including my training as well. I was training every other day at the time, and I was, and my weigh-ins seemed to be good on gym days, and the bad ones seemed to come on non-gym days. So my thinking was, if I went to the gym more, I'd have more good weigh-ins. I'd get more volume in, increase the strength quicker, and then I actually increase my sessions to 2 days on, 1 day off instead of every other day. And it did seem to work, to be fair. The actual recovery on this carnivore diet from gym sessions is amazing. I don't feel sore at all like the next day anymore, which I used to, particularly after leg day. And so the message of this video is to not self-sabotage and not make any radical changes based on 1 day's or 1 week's worth of data. In an ideal world, you would get stronger every single session, but it's just not realistic to sustain that all year, or for the period of a bulk. There are going to be some sessions where you might just not be feeling it as much. You might have a dip in energy, or you might not have slept well the night before. Um, so it's important not to zoom in on individual sessions and also individual weigh-ins. And honestly, I'd take it um, minimum like a week at a time. And that's what I do with my weigh-ins now. I try to focus less on the day to day, and I just take averages. So you can see I would average out each week. So I'd do the total of day 15 and day 21 divided by 7, and then compare that to day 22, day 28 averaged out. And then the difference between that, if that's in your range, for example, for bulking, let's say your range is half a kilo per week. If those two averages are half a kilo different, or zero point 0.4 or zero point 0.6, then don't change anything. There's no need. And I think, in my experience, when I've made the most progress is when it's been data driven and not emotion driven. I think that's huge. So, in summary, once you've created a plan, that's sort of the easy bit, getting your nutrition plan and your training program all sorted. Um, and honestly, the difficulty is just sticking with it, especially when you hit a bump in the road. If you're trying to lean down, for example, and you have a few stagnant days, then you might want to decrease the calories more and just make radical changes. But just stick with it, keep your emotions out of it, keep an eye on the data, and if the next week's average is not um, sort of in the range, then you can start to make adjustments, not after just one weigh-in. Same with training. If you have one gym session where you're weaker than the last one, then don't go make any radical changes. Just keep with the plan, and if it keeps happening again and again over the course of a week or two, then you might want to make a change. And yeah, in general, if you're someone who doesn't have too much muscle, you're starting from like a skinnier starting point, or you've never really trained before, you want to do like 9-month bulks and 3-month cuts. This is a rough guide, and this is something which I've learned recently for myself, because I was always so determined to just try and stay lean like all year round. But you're just going to have to go through these bulk periods and just sort of let go for a period. And I had a good example, which was trying to chisel a pebble compared to a rock. You don't want to try and chisel a pebble. You want to build yourself up, build the muscle, and then cut down. I would say the exception to this is if you're in sort of that skinny fat range where you don't have too much muscle, maybe you haven't trained much before, but you have no ab definition, you might have a bit of a belly, and this will sort of be like the maybe like 17 to like 25 or 30% range. In that case, you'd want to swap these, and I'd recommend going on a cut first for at least 3 months, getting down to a low enough body percent that you can see your abs basically, and you feel good, and then you want to start the bulk from there. You don't want to start the bulk from a too high a body fat percentage, because that can get tough, like mentally. And limiting the information is something which I've been trying to do recently. There's so much information out there, even on YouTube. You can have one guy who says, you only need to train 3 times a week, and then another guy says 6, and one guy is saying you need to train with intensity, you need to go to failure like on every set, and then another guy will be saying, you want to just get in as much volume as possible. So just find someone whose physique which you like, and you like their methods and the way of doing things, and honestly, just try and watch like that one person and just try and block out any new information. And if you want some help with the initial 3 month cut, if you are sitting around 17, 20, 25% body fat, you can't see your abs, but you look quite skinny in clothes, click the first link in the description, and yeah, we might be able to work together. So thanks for watching this video, and I will see you tomorrow.